All right, welcome to the Town of Acton Planning Board meeting for September 21st, 2023 at 6 PM. I'll stand for the pledge.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we don't need an alternate. I'm going to table the minutes for the lack of people being here tonight and last meeting, so we'll go right into old business. John O'Keefe, 193 Fox's Ridge Road, map 248, lot 009, 6.6.4, site plan review.
Hey, Michael Menery with Civil Works New England, Joe Griffin, PE with Civil Works New England, and John O'Keefe, the owner. So just a refresher from our preliminary meeting 2 weeks ago. So this storage unit facility on 193 Fox's Ridge Road. It's proposing 3 self-storage buildings with a total of 8,100 square feet of building. Total disturbance on the site is about 42,000, under an acre. We'll be asking for 2 waivers to not allow WB-40s on the site, and proposed screening to use existing screening. Also an update on the main DOT entrance permit that was accepted yesterday. We have a few questions from their acceptance we're going to ask them, but everything with that went well.
And per our discussion 2 weeks ago, we've added the fence and gate. We've made changes to those notes that had indicated construction hours and things like that as well.
So BMP's on the site as a soil filter with a sediment forebay, as well as a roof line infiltration trench on that right, the far south proposed building. And those were designed to main DOT standards. DEP standards rather. And in some later pages, you can now see the details of that with main DEP notes involved.
And then what you also have is the drainage report for the site as well.
Right.
So I have a question, if I may ask a question. It's so for self-storage, what are the standards for what goes into them? What can be stored in there?
So generally, they're self-storage. It's homes and whatnot, but there'll be a contract between the owner and the renters. And at that contract can limit hazardous wastes and things like that. That would be.
So are these going to be big enough to fit a vehicle, for example, or a boat, or something like that to store for the winter?
They'll be 20 foot, the longest ones are 20 foot long, I think. 10 foot, so it'll be like a garage door. I don't believe that he's intending for there to be vehicle storage at this time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they stick a John boat inside here or stuff like that. I mean, that's, pretty much what they would do, like any other storage unit, No, I don't want cars parked in there and then coming and working on them, or that type of stuff, no, that's not, you know, a typical storage unit.
I just had to ask the question because storage to me is like, you know, household things, but
Yeah, yeah,
I know people are using them for office space now,
no,
you know,
no living, no office space, just storage. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not proposing water or sewer on
Right,
site.
no power, only powerful lights and powerful maintenance outlets, you know, that's it. And I say, lights as in just, park, you know, for the driving area, like security lights.
pretty much.
So no hazmat stored?
No,
Somebody can put their John boat in, but no engine on it?
if they empty, you know, if they empty out whatever, you know, winterize it, whatever it is, I mean, you know, I don't anticipate, you know, people are gonna park their regular boats in there, but I mean, a John boat, whether they like 10 foot, 12 foot, one in there, I would have no idea, you know?
Your contract is gonna say no hazardous materials?
Yeah, we don't want that on the property.
You'll be able to share a copy of some sort of written agreement that you'll have with the leaser.
At this time, that'll need to be finalized more with the owner, but eventually, I think that is something we.
Yeah, we could
potentially
provide
give
that
to-
as part of the conditional approval. Sure. Up with the contract that he'll be presenting.
Yeah, we can make that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No hazardous.
The storage building, you know, the company that I'll be using, I'm sure they have all these contracts that I can, come up with and,
I just asked the question because it's come up before, you know, as far as the site goes and what can go on the site.
yeah.
And I don't know,
Yeah.
so.
But I could envision people who are in the process of moving, putting a snow blower in storage when they're not using it during summer months and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah,
Generator, if it's their house generator and they know they only need it for the winter months, I could envision small engines and things like that, but.
but it would be in your interest to have the fuel drained out of those things just for fire purposes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, just like if they put it in their own.
Well,
cellar or
I think
whatever.
people put it on their own garage, they don't drain the fuel out a lot of times. I mean, you just,
Yeah, absolutely, the contract can state small engines will be drained of gasoline or diesel.
yeah, okay. I did want to just mention that the whole site is in the Aquifer Protection District. So we might want to look at page 46, 4.13.4, change of use or structure or land. Just see if, you know, there's anything that we are concerned with. It just says the use of a structure may not be changed to another use unless the code officer, after reviewing the written application, determines that the new one will have no greater adverse impact on the scenic gravel aquifer than the existing use. In determining whether greater adverse impact will occur, the code officer may require written documentation from the applicant regarding the probable effects on public health and safety, which may include but not limited to a hydrogeological survey demonstrating that the scenic gravel aquifer will not be more adversely impacted by the proposed use than by the existing use.
Well, there again, I think that hazardous, you know, the contract with the hazardous waste would pretty much cover that,
Yeah, and just I'm thinking about the stormwater when, you know,
the runoff.
go through this drainage analysis and make sure that, you know, we're happy with the runoff from this site, because it is a building surrounded by an asphalt parking lot, pretty much. So there's a lot of impervious surface that maybe we could get some infiltration areas, right, you know, little gardens within the pavement or,
So we've performed tests out there. We're infiltrating in the one location that actually had infiltration rates that would allow it to go into the ground. The initial design had included infiltration through the grassed soil filter system, but the infiltration rates were very, very poor.
yeah,
So we've performed test pits throughout the site.
yeah. So I can see the one drainage ditch on the far right of the, yeah, right there, and it looks like it probably drains to the, what would that would be the east, to the east, up the screen.
So that's actually the roof drip line filter.
Yeah.
That's designed to handle the runoff and infiltrate it into the ground.
Yeah,
That's the one location on the site that the test pits showed. We had an acceptable infiltration rate.
is there a pipe in there, or it's just stone?
No, it's just the stone
Yeah.
drip edge.
Okay.
Yep. And that's been designed to capture the first flush in accordance with Maine DEP. So it treats the first inch of runoff.
From the whole,
That one is for the,
just the one building?
that's for the one building itself because we
Okay.
couldn't pitch that back towards the pavement. The rest of the pavement area, with the exception of a small portion of the driveway, all drains into the grass filtered system. And that's an under-drain system that's designed based off from the water quality volume associated with the pavement. The sediment forebay has been designed in accordance with Maine DEP's estimating the amount of, the number of storms, what the sanding rate for this lot will look like. So it's all been designed in accordance with DEP's standards for best management practices.
Is that what's in at the bottom of the screen right there? That's your infiltration area?
It's a filtration area, yep, and it's under drained, and then it will drain across the driveway to an outlet system.
So to the right?
Correct, yep. There's a drainage structure in there that limits the flow to allow us to match the volume or the flow coming off from the site, and we're matching it pre to post.
And does it end up just in the
Ditch.
ditch on the road, basically, eventually, or where does it
No,
end up?
it all drains back towards that wetland that's on site.
Right, the one with the 50-foot setback?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. And I was also wondering about the nature of that wetland. It's not in resource protection, right? It's just an existing wet area? Okay.
Correct, the resource protection was the stream
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
back with the 75-foot setback.
okay.
And that's depicted on your charts, right? The 75 feet from that?
Yep,
Yep, 75 feet in the back and 50 feet off to the side.
No disturbance in the buffers.
in terms of the waivers, I think, you know, we won't be able to give you, determination until after the site walk at least, but, the first one, for the, the allowing what size vehicle to allow in there, I don't really see any issue with that. You know,
Gavin, you weren't here the last meeting, right? Were you here?
Correct, I wasn't.
Yeah, so the other waiver was because they, pretty much for security purposes, they wanted to be able to visually see it from the house that's on the.
right, the second one.
That was the intent of not vegetating that area and creating a buffer there.
Right, which is to the south,
Yeah.
which is the right-hand side of the screen. But the waiver also mentions the west, which is the roadside, and so on the sidewalk, I'd be interested in looking at that area, see if there's any buffering we can do along the road. I know that your filtration area takes up a lot of room there, but just, is that gonna be marked out on the ground for the sidewalk?
We could absolutely stake that out if you'd like to see that.
I think that would be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's a fairly large area, isn't it? Does it have dimensions on it?
Yeah, the size of it is so that we can meet the runoff pre to post. So because there is no infiltration occurring in the ditch or in the filter, we've got to store that excess water to ensure that we're not releasing it too quickly.
And you're not putting any crushed stone around the other buildings because you didn't get a high enough infiltration rate? Is that pretty much the driving factor?
We wouldn't have been able to put it around the other buildings because they are in that paved drive aisle area. So for access into them, we wouldn't want to use that system, an infiltration system.
Access is from both sides of the building?
Correct, yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And they'll be varying size. Some will be, 5 feet deep and 15 feet deep, 15 and 15, 20 and 10. So there'll be different sized units
Yeah,
throughout each of
yeah,
those.
Okay. Because in the site plan review, it does note that we should try to avoid these sort of things where there's asphalt completely around the building and try to encourage foundation plantings and things like that. But I'm not really sure how to incorporate those into this particular setup right now. I don't know, I think we should set a site walk so we can get an idea on some of these things. Do I just do it before the next meeting?
Yeah, we can do it fifth,
Is that convenient? or-
fifth at 5, 5 at 5.
I'm working anyway, so.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's fine with me.
Works for me.
What was that?
We want to do the same.
Correct, yeah.
Set it in. On the 5th,
Would you guys come up with a time
5?
5 o'clock?
for the next meeting?
Yeah, I think so, 5 o'clock.
You gotta make it.
'Cause it takes 15 minutes to drive from there. About.
You need a motion on
Depends
that?
who's driving.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I move we establish a site walk for the application at 193 Fox's Ridge Road on October 5th at 5 o'clock.
Yes, does that work for you guys? Or
Yeah,
John?
absolutely.
Second.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? All right. See you on October 5th.
Great.
All right, great,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I might have a dentist appointment.
Yeah, actually, Jason was talking about that, how it's funny, site plan review doesn't like spell out the year.
It doesn't spell out a thing, but it also tells me that I need to, I don't know why, but after the first meeting, I notify all the butters. I mean, of the public hearing or just of the application? I don't even.
I think it's just the application too, because then people can stay tuned
Yeah,
because it's
I'll do that then.
a larger deal that the public might be more interested, concerned with or
Yeah, so I'll send those out tomorrow, or, excuse me, Dave will send those out tomorrow.
Yeah. I think most people abutters are probably already aware of
I don't think so.
the work going on because they're actively working on it.
Yeah, they've been digging for about a month.
Right, that's-
2 months.
We're calling
What
it
do you-
borrow pit.
Yeah,
That's right, they're probably
They don't know
removing some
anything's
material
happening.
just to flatten it out, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
they brought some in.
I'm sure.
Anyway,
I know.
Yeah, they got started, for sure.
Yeah, probably why the soils don't drain as well.
All right, you wanna go forward? Robert Martin, 20 Oriole Road, map 138, lot 023, application for greatest practical extent. How you doing?
Good evening.
How you doing? Tell us what you're gonna plan, what your plan is.
Well, what my plan is that I want to rebuild my boathouse.
Okay.
The boathouse, as far as I know, was built in the 40s with my camp. And, the boathouse, the dimensions of the boathouse are, 10 feet, 11 and a quarter inches by 22 feet, 9 inches. And I was gonna round it, I'm looking to round it off to 12 by 24, which is less than 30%.
So it's pretty much just, storage of smaller boats that you can hand carry in there.
Yeah, I got my kayaks in there, all my grandkids have their stuff in there.
so he only had this survey. And I'll show you another picture. This is all vegetated with trees and stuff like that, and there's a slight slope going up. He said, what'd you say, about 6 feet off the water?
Yeah, yeah, it all depends who determines high water mark. In the survey, it says 4 feet plus.
There's a picture.
Yeah.
So that's looking up the line of it, and you can see where that is.
It's, you can see it in that picture, it's the dark blob kind of.
This right here, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so there's trees right behind it.
There's trees right behind it and all the way up to the road.
Yeah.
And this only gives you a 50-foot right-of-way. So to get out of those trees puts you closer to the setback, which, you know, you have a 10-foot setback on this right-of-way.
I'm sorry.
I take it back. You have a 25-foot setback on the right-of-way, so it really, because it's a conforming, right? Your whole lot is over 2 acres?
Oh, no, it's under 3 acres.
Oh,
I think the whole,
no, it's over 2 though.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't have a building in a right of way.
so do we have a deed in here for the right of way?
Oh, I was supposed to print that up. That's,
Can you, Jason, I'm confused.
It's not a right of way.
Back up,
It's not actually a right of way, it's owned,
the map.
it goes with the house on the hill, my yellow house.
Yeah,
I have a survey here, I'll show you if you like.
part of the lot, it's not technically a right of way, or?
Right, it's not a right of way. It started in its conception, I had a 20-foot right of way here. And then, my friend owned this camp, his family owned this camp. And, he had cancer, so I put a septic system and a well in on his camp. And we did an equal land exchange, which gave me 20 more feet. That's what made this 55 feet. When I first bought the property, I had a right of way down here, 20-foot right of way here. And the property also has a right of way down here.
So is the right-of-way anybody else's right-of-way?
No, it's my own.
So it's your property?
It's not a right of way, no.
Yeah.
longer, 'cause I
Okay,
own it.
okay. Yep.
It is in here.
Oh, yeah.
The dimensions are in there as well?
Haven't got that far.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
It'll be in there, Chris. It's a deed. It'll be in there. It's a deed.
Yeah, I just can't, it's not in that section there.
What's the foundation like? Is it just kind of some?
It has like sonotubes that have sunk in the corners, on all four corners, and they've just, sunk in the ground.
Yeah,
I was thinking the least amount of impact would be just to put it on a slab instead of trying to do any excavation work down there, because it's so close to the water.
you can drive down there easily.
Yeah, you can drive a pickup truck down there,
Yeah.
but,
It's not on a slab right now, it's on sonotubes right now.
right, but
Yeah.
they're gone. You can see by the building, it's so old.
Would you just pour the slab on the original ground, or how would you?
Well, you'd have to build it up a little bit with gravel, just to level it out, but then I would pour the slab on top of that. The back corner of the shed, the one corner of the shed, I think they had a wood stove in there at one time, because there's a little cement pad in the back corner, but
You think you're gonna bring in a machine to demo it, or you have people take it down by hand?
I have a loader backhoe, I'll probably take it down myself, section by section,
Okay. You do the groundwork with that machine?
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna try to do the least amount of groundwork as possible.
So I'm trying to understand how you would put a slab in there. Would you follow the same, it's into the hill,
Right,
and there's trees all around it.
right, but there's probably a 6-foot diameter around the building.
Where you
And the
can get
back
a-
corner, you can tell by the way the building is, the back sunk.
So you would be lifting it up out of the ground
Well, it would be level.
from the back?
Would it be above the ground more than that? Yes.
You can't move it up more than 3 feet, right?
That's the foundation. That's not the grade, but. I don't think you're not putting 3 feet of gravel there.
No.
Well, I mean, definitely looks like there's you gain a couple of feet between the front and back of the building, but, to level that out with the back of the building, there'd be some material added for sure.
Oh, it's carved up.
Is this soil or is this a lot of buildup of just leaves and dump?
Yeah,
there?
it's a lot of buildup,
I guess that's what was confusing me,
What's that?
the buildup. I thought that was the grade.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look where the tree is, it's still, somewhat of the grade too.
Looks like they built it right into the hill.
Well, they probably just dug some out of the back instead of putting so much in the front. No, so we have to, consider that foundation.
I believe I do have a picture of the back of the building if you wanna.
The one picture I didn't take.
So you said you'd like to make it 12 by 24?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you changing the approach for how you're bringing the boats in and out?
No, I'm leaving.
Changing anything about the building?
No,
No.
no. This is a picture I have of the back of the building. And you'll see that over here is just a lot of buildup of just debris, you know.
Pine needles and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, you know, stuff that's falling off the trees. and-
Right. So that's that one corner, but that's not the corner we're looking
Yeah,
at, right?
Okay, I'll find it. That's the picture. Where is it?
Me too. Bet you get messages about increasing your storage.
Oh, yeah. I get that was,
And I have to keep
I'm looking
going and
at,
I
deleting.
don't have,
Because there was like culvert
Expansion in
coming
the
out.
shoreline district, resource protection district.
I just
within the
have this
shoreline.
where
That's over here.
the sides where it
Page
shows
5 kind
that.
of spells
Yeah.
out.
Sides.
And that's why it's
putting it-
rotted,
when
because
we're
it's
putting
filled
it
up, but you could dig it out.
Yeah, there was
I was just trying to
Okay, I thought it was-
picture
Page 5.
3 foot up, and are you gonna get into
Oh,
it?
yeah, I see what
What
you're
did you say?
I was just looking at,
But there was,
page 5 kind of talks about
This can't.
the, when you're
Expansion?
putting a new foundation underneath. Yeah, expansion in the shoreline district.
I don't know.
I'm looking at, page 5C.
What'd you say, Gavin? I didn't, wasn't.
Page 5C, expansion in the shoreland.
Just whenever a new, enlarged, or replacement foundation is constructed on a non-conforming structure, the structure and new foundation must be placed such that the setback requirement is met to the greatest practical extent as determined by the planning board based on its decision on the criteria in subsection 1.4.11.4 below. If the complete foundation does not extend beyond the exterior dimensions of the structure, except for expansion in conformity with section 1.4.11.2.b above, the foundation does not cause the structure to be elevated more than 3 additional feet as measured from the uphill side of the structure from the original ground level to the bottom of the first floor sill. It shall not be considered an expansion of the structure. So it-
3 feet up.
So it sounds like.
3 feet, that's because it becomes habitable space once the
Yeah,
foundation is.
so
in.
that doesn't really applicable to what he's talking about, but, it does look like the structure could be moved back some. It's, you know, everything is pretty much carried in.
You'd have to cut out all those trees.
Well, I mean, it says right here, whenever a new enlarged or replacement foundation is constructed on a non-conforming structure, the structure and new foundation must be placed such as setback requirements met to the greatest practical extent. So, I mean, I feel like, you know, there could be some consideration about moving it back. You know, but,
Give it a second. Some reason timed me out.
like some,
So if he kept the structure the same, according to B, he wouldn't have to do that.
right.
B says, after January 1st, 1989, if a portion of a structure in the shoreline district is less than the required setback from the normal high water line of a water body or tributary stream or upland edge of a wetland, that portion of the structure shall not be expanded as measured in floor area or volume by more than 30% during the lifetime of the structure. If the replacement structure conforms with the requirements, section 1.4.11.3, and is less than the required setback from the water body, tributary stream, or wetland, the replacement structure may not be expanded if the original structure existing on January 1st, 1989, had been expanded by 30% in floor area or volume since that date.
Yeah, that's our usual. You get 30, but if you've already used it up.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't seem like this structure has been expanded.
It's never been expanded.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
by no means.
No, but you are looking to expand it now.
Yes,
Is that,
It's within 30%.
right. But I'm kind of leaning toward if you leave it where it is, keep it the same size and, you know, you'd be creating the least impact. But,
Does that make sense?
somewhat.
Somewhat.
yeah,
So
no,
you
either
know.
or.
I mean, we are supposed to try to move it back if it seems
Right.
practicable. It's kind of, you know, there are trees behind it and you do use it with the water, so we wouldn't want to move it back a lot, but. You know,
Got to carry stuff in there from the water,
Right.
you know.
Not letting me hook up.
But if you want to make it bigger, it has to get moved. That's the bottom line.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're supposed to consider that, and it does look like there is room to move it, but, I mean, I think I don't know, if you kept it on
Same size.
sonotubes and kept it the same size, you could leave it right there, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I don't want to excavate, that's why I don't want to put it back on sonotubes.
Well, you're
Sonotubes,
gonna have to do some just for the pad, right?
right, if you put a gravel pad in there, you don't have to do any excavation. You know, you bring it up, you'll get your elevation, you compact it, and then pour a slab on it. If you start digging that close, 4 feet to the water, for sonotubes, you're gonna have to dig a sonotube, at least 6 feet. You know, it's a lot more of an impact.
Okay.
You know, moving, I understand that, you know, the design is to move it back off the water, I realize that. But in this situation, I have such a grade there, that hill is steep behind there, and there's all trees all in there. It's a 22-foot building in a 55-foot right-of-way. I mean, in a 55-foot patch of land.
Right, it's not a right of way.
It's not a right-of-way, it's a, you know, so it doesn't make it no more non-conforming or conforming. You
Well,
know?
expanding it makes it,
Well, you're entitled to the 30%.
It's just by what's in here. Strictly.
Yeah,
Well, he's entitled to 30%.
oh, absolutely, I'm just saying that it looks like you could move the thing back some if you were gonna go, you're taking the whole building down, it's a new foundation, you're gonna have the machine, some sort of machine in there. You know, the thing's gonna be a little bit bigger,
Yep.
so you may have to take trees out in the back anyway to accommodate that, I'm not really sure, but.
I got kicked off the projector
No,
for
that's
some
all right. We
reason.
didn't really have a picture of the back of the thing.
Yeah, I do.
Maybe you should look.
I don't know.
Give me a second. I'll just,
How much are you looking to expand it?
it's like 44 square feet.
44 square feet. Yeah.
You know, it's under the 30%.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just trying to,
It just makes it dimensional. You know, all the material is dimensional. If I go 12 by 24, I have no wasted materials, you know, it's better for me too.
so you can just touch it and it'll bring you your photos. That's all behind it, within that patch of land.
That's what was up on the screen.
I just, for some reason, I can't connect to it again. It's not letting me.
We saw the pictures, just.
How far are those trees behind it?
Couple feet. There's a couple, 3 or 4 small ones, but the other ones are pretty close.
Yeah, it's not much. You think we could get a couple of feet out of it? Go back a couple of feet?
The further back you do, you're gonna have to excavate. You're gonna have to dig into the bank.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be digging the bank just to get the stone in there to put the pad on. It's gonna be some digging, it's not like there would be any digging.
That's it right there.
Thank you.
There's some other area, this property you could revegetate. You know,
Because as you go up that hill, it's almost 20% grade. So as you go back, you're gonna have to do more excavation.
you get a lot of water running down that.
Well, no, because it all has growth, and the other side has grass. I've been planting grass on the hill.
Yeah.
Stop the erosion,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That's it.
Because I think it's right there.
Yeah, there's one right there, without a doubt.
Where's the other? Back corner.
It does, I don't see where that one is.
Is there a tree on the back corner of one?
Yep.
Height,
Yep,
right near your canoe?
yep.
Okay, yeah, so that is, that one's gonna be,
It looks like it's right here.
yeah, it'd be right there.
Yeah, it's a good 70 footer.
Yeah, it looks like it's right up in the picture.
Yeah, it's close.
Against the building. Did you see it?
I saw it in the picture, yeah.
It's hard to know if that tree would just come down anyway due to the work. Safety hazard kind of when you dig it up.
You're not gonna take that tree down?
I wasn't planning on it.
Okay.
You think you could accomplish what you're trying to do without removing any of the trees? Is that what
Yes,
you're-
that's what I'm trying to do.
So where's your 2 feet coming from the 22 to the 24? Is it,
Length, it would go back, it would go back.
Into the
It would go
hill.
back 2 feet.
so you would be into that tree anyway?
Well, no, because it's on an angle. That tree is on
Okay.
the side of the building. I mean,
So he is going
if the
back.
tree fell on it, there's canoes and kayaks in there. You know, there's no inhabitants in the building, you know? I wouldn't want to have to pay to cut that tree.
You've got some proposed concrete block steps here too? You're gonna put in the stairway?
Those were done a while ago with the greatest practical extent.
Yeah, I
It
actually,
says prop concrete block step.
Yeah, no, it was, in his file, there's the previous code officer, when did you do that, 2015 or something like that?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's
Oh
what
yeah,
I
it
was
says
thinking.
6/18/14 on this sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had a permit by rule for that.
Okay, I got you.
They used to have just a bunch of rock staircase, and they didn't lower the lake one year, and it pulled them rocks, the staircase, into the water. So we changed them over to that. I had a permit from DEP and from code enforcement officer.
Yeah, I see the plan I'm looking at, it was from 2014, that makes sense.
You gonna look at this one?
I'm okay to let it go.
Yeah.
No greater than, no closer and no greater than the 24, is that what it was?
What is your, do we have a distance from the water right now?
Yeah, right here on the survey, it's 4 feet.
It's on,
4 plus. It says right here. On this corner, see, it says 4 feet plus to the high water mark.
basically from this.
that's the high
to the
water
mark, It's 4 feet.
Yeah.
Right?
It's,
And this is like a deck that's out front,
That's gone.
That's not-
That's gone.
and you're not gonna put that back?
No, no.
it's actually
Because
six.
Are
the
you, what are
boathouse
you gonna
originally
do
was
anything with that area, or?
It's just the entrance to the boathouse,
Yeah,
you know? It's, no, I didn't.
you're just gonna leave it as bare ground, right?
Right. But when the boathouse was built, it had that ramp, and then it had those rock stairs, and it had like
You read
these
that.
rails that you
See,
put
it
the
says
boat
the
up,
stairs go into the lake.
Yeah.
you know, right from the lake, you know?
Yeah,
So that ramp, I got rid of that.
Because there was something there.
Yeah.
we
Right,
wanted
the
to do.
wooden steps.
Yeah, when the water went down, they did
are
it.
you gonna do the,
We can do it, we can replace existing structures.
like crushed stone drip, drip line
Yes, sir.
trenches on the thing?
Yep, yep.
Stay for a second again.
Well, I don't think there's too much more conversation.
I just had one, I have a question.
Oh,
On that reading about 36 inches of height, you can't go no higher than 36 inches of height.
That's for that's for a foundation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be.
You know, because in the back, I might need 26 and a half inches of gravel. In the front, I'll need 6 or 8 inches.
For like a foundation wall, cement
Oh,
wall,
okay,
like a
okay.
wall.
It becomes a habitable space when your foundation is over 3 feet out of the ground.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
different scenario.
A
Has
lot of
nothing-
these things turn into walk-in basements.
Yeah.
and
Right.
There's that verbiage. in
This
there.
it's not applicable to this one.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was just mostly looking at that area because I do feel like he is adding a foundation more substantial than what's there. So it is an additional foundation, so it's kind of, that's all we have about foundation, So, but I'll make a motion, we accept the best practical location, Robert Martin, 20 Oriole Road, map 138, lot 23. The new boathouse to be relocated no closer than 4 feet from the high water line.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All opposed? All set.
that's it. I'll do a good job.
All right.
Sure you will.
Yeah. That's it.
See you later.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Might be room to go back up to the boathouse.
Well, it is a nice heavily forested area, you know.
Yeah. It's about how much we're
And
gonna
you
actually
can't-
ask him to move back anyway.
Right, it's either go straight back or because you can't come off to the side out of the forest because the forested area, because then you're making it more non-conforming.
Then he's on the sideline.
And then he's too close to the property line, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of those situations.
Anything else going on?
That's it for tonight. No pending projects or nothing.
Got a couple, well, we'll do the site walk. I have another greatest practical extent next week, next meeting. I think that's it as of right now. But that site walk will bring a lot of stuff to light.
Yeah, yeah, look at the buffers and visual and just physical with the wetland.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when interest rates go up, everything kind of slows down.
Do we have anything cooking for town meeting next year? Have we come up with any ideas or? Doesn't seem like it.
No, just that one house cleaning thing that we gotta do. And that was in the subdivision.
Oh, I might be able, I'm gonna talk to somebody. That might just be housekeeping and I can just do it anyway. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's, I believe in the subdivision regulations, not even in the ordinance itself.
Subdivision regulations, we can change, we just need a public hearing. I do have a couple small changes I wanna put into the subdivision regs that it's been like 5-6 years, I've mentioned it a couple times, we never actually.
What are those? Do you remember?
I'll have to bring my book in, I
Yeah,
have
that's
them
fine.
written in there.
Yeah.
It had to do with, buffers around the lot, on the exterior of the lot. Based on the size of the cluster subdivision, but I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Bring it in next time, we'll start working on something.
Yeah. And is anyone concerned about needing to add anything about dispensaries into the ordinance?
So
Marijuana
so we just, unless you guys want to add something in the land use chart, so I just actually had an application come in and I had to deny it, because Maine you have to opt in to allowing them. We have not opted in.
Okay,
And so I got an email back saying, since we have not opted in, it's not regulated.
so
It's not,
permitted.
it's not permitted, yeah.
So we're
you
in
have-
good standing.
We're in good standings. My worry is, and then if you guys don't want them, what happens if that legislature changes something that you no longer have to opt in, you can just do it.
Well, then, at that time, we'd have to make a change. I don't, well, who knows what that group of people will do.
And I think we're in pretty good shape, because commercial businesses, like a bigger dispensary would have to be in the commercial zone or the mixed use zone. They wouldn't be nilly-willy throughout the town. So I feel like we're in okay shape on that, I guess.
A lot of people are working from home now.
Yeah. Farm stands too, you know?
Yeah.
If you're not processing, just put it out there.
Right.
It is agriculture.
Yeah. But I think most people would be doing some retail and,
I don't know what the regulations, the state has, they have to follow state regulations, and I don't think you can just do a farm stand.
yeah, so I don't know. So, but, okay, you just,
Ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't
the
have to-
town voted it down,
okay.
so we did not opt in.
No, that was just brought to my attention.
There are about 20 people that want just an idea.
But it doesn't seem like we do.
No, not once the town voted again.
Yeah, right. All right, well, we still have time to put something forward for next town meeting if anybody comes up with anything.
I don't, I think over the last 3-4 years, we've addressed the burning issues that came up.
Yeah,
Tiny homes and pits and
solar.
solar.
Are we gonna be seeing that solar farm?
So I haven't heard anything from them, but last communication I had with them was in August, and, they said that they're hoping to be ready for the first meeting in October, but I still have yet to hear from them.
Okay.
And,
So it's a brand-new start.
it's a brand new application because their conditions actually expired. They didn't do anything within 24 months, and they're downsizing.
Extensions.
So pretty much everything's, not everything's the same, but it's just a smaller footprint instead of what it was before.
And you have the file with the old conditions, and,
I can pull them, yeah.
Right,
I mean, we'd want to see what they were.
Sure.
yeah, that would streamline it.
Right.
Yep.
Did y'all go on the site walk?
I did. I was one of the first ones that I was here for.
That's Romat, no, Kelly's. right?
Kelly's, did
Yeah,
you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yep, all right.
Yeah, I still got the radiation from the cell phone tower well through my head, so.
Still,
Yeah.
yeah,
We had some good discussion.
yeah. Yeah. All right, motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Yep.
Thank you.